Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about a boring ass fucking AEW Dynamite show. It started off looking good, but as the night went on, I got bored. I loved MJF's promo work with Hangman Page. I thought that was great. Those two really cut a good promo together. Ricochet, by the way, was really good tonight with Prince Nana about the jacket. I enjoyed that content and what they had to offer in that segment. There was quite a bit of decent chaos with Moxley and Adam Copeland. I thought that was good. Match-wise, wrestling-wise, I didn't barely pay attention to any of this shit. Really, I didn't. The promos were more the intriguing part of the entire show. The rest of it was just there, really. I mean, what did we have here for matches? Let's just go over the match card here. I'm making this very short and sweet because I'm not in the mood to sit here and have a 30-plus minute conversation about AEW Dynamite. Tonight was a good show for promos, shit show for wrestling. I did not care for the wrestling at all. Did not care for the main event. Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy in the main event for determining who gets a shot for the International Championship against Takeshita? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, really, that's your main event for the night. Wow. What a fucking joke that was. So we had the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Kit Sabian, and Nick Waynes going up against Samoa Joe, Shibata, and Hook. And of course, Samoa Joe's team wins the match. And that's it. That's pretty much what we got there. What a fucking joke. Barely paid attention. That was the opening match of the night. We also had a graphic show that MJF and Page will be taking place at Revolution. That should be a good match. I am looking forward to those two. That match should have been booked a long time ago when AEW first started, which, by the way, was mentioned in the promo tonight between these two. I like the little bit of character development they threw in there. MJF has listed off all of his accomplishments in the promo with Hangman Page and what he has done. And Hangman Page said something that's very, very interesting. There's still something in you that makes you angry with all these accomplishments and what you've done, yet you're still angry and full of hatred. Why? Is it because the fans still don't like you? And he got mad and retaliated by saying, "Shut the hell up. I don't give a shit what these fans think of me." And it struck a nerve because it's the truth. Hangman Page promo felt very robotic-like. That was the one critique I can say from this promo that I watched tonight that I felt. I felt that he was a little bit more robotic than being a human, showing human emotions. Maybe it's just the way he's cutting the promos that I haven't noticed. I'm just so happen to notice in this promo here. But yeah, he didn't seem human-like compared to MJF. MJF was just so lifelike and so forth. But the one thing that MJF asked Hangman Page, he said, "I have the looks, I got the style, I'm a better wrestler than you, and everything else in between, and I'm better on the mic than you. What makes you, what else what makes you better than me? What is the one thing that makes you better than me? And he comes out and he says, I'm real. While also insinuating MJF isn't. I loved it. I thought it was a great promo. The two almost clashed and so forth. MJF spit in Hangman's face, which I would have went after him and killed him. He almost got his hands on him, but then managed to get away. But yeah, I was very impressed with this promo. This felt like an old version of what AEW was back when they first started. This was an excellent promo and very enjoyable, and it really hyped up the match and got to the fucking point finally of what we're all here for. Good storylines to hype up matches for pay-per-views. This match I'm definitely looking forward to. It is 5 years plus in the making. These two should have faced each other back when it first started with AEW. They never pulled the trigger. They never actually had them in a real legit storyline. And with all these years passed by, this is the greatest move they could do right now to hype up this pay-per-view. I honestly would put this in the main event, but then you got Adam Copeland competing for the world title against Jon Moxley, with Jon Moxley, supposedly his story and what he's doing with his faction should be the main focal point of AEW. To me, it doesn't seem like the most important. And that's not good, honestly. Especially with the world title, which we have yet to see out of a fucking briefcase yet. So go figure that one out. So anyway, before the opener match, we also had Roderick Strong was asked for his thoughts ahead of facing Orange Cassidy in the main event. Strong says despite being friends with Kyle O'Reilly, he is ready to beat the fellow former champion to move on to Revolution. Kyle calls Orange his boy, but says Roderick Strong is going to break that back, with Adam Cole saying that a win for Strong is undisputed, which obviously Orange Cassidy won that match. He's going to go on to face Takeshita at Revolution for the International Championship once again. God help us if Takeshita loses that fucking time. I do not want to see Takeshita lose that International Championship for the fucking guy who has won that title more times than anyone has. Not that it really matters, the title is meaningless, but still. Takeshita losing to Orange Cassidy, fucking retarded and lame. Just in my personal opinion. Already went over the 6-man tag team match with the Ops versus Patriarchy. Let's see here. So we get back. We get a look back of Ring of Honor Global Wars when Bandito pinned Chris Jericho during a trios match. Backstage, Renee asked Jericho if he accomplished what he wanted to by being pinned, something that Jericho doesn't appreciate, as he talks about how he could get her fired before talking about his accomplishments for the millionth time. He runs down Bandito, but congratulates him on pinning him last weekend, offering him a shot at the Ring of Honor World Championship on Collision. He says that the bounty is out the window here, promising to make people treat Chris effing Jericho more seriously before leaving. So we head back to ringside and we get a street fight between Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill. This was a good match. I enjoyed this matchup between these two guys, two big behemoths. And this was actually by countout in a last man standing type setup. I don't know why it was a street fight. They call it a street fight, but the ref counted to 10 and he was unable to get up because he was caught to barbed wire while he was power slammed through a table with barbed wire attached to it, and he couldn't get up because he was stuck in it. So Powerhouse Hobbs won the match. I think that the match was good. I don't think it was terrible. Probably the best match on the entire card, honestly, for tonight. Fucking Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong, I don't think really did anything for the main event. In my personal opinion, I think this match should have been the main event for the street fight, so. Granted, the rules made absolutely no fucking sense to me, but whatever. So we cut backstage to hear from Brian Cage and Lance Archer, who recently made a statement towards the Hurt Syndicate and challenged the champions for Collision. So apparently, tag team divisions and rankings don't seem to matter. Tag teams don't need to get W's to earn an opportunity. They can just randomly show up on television and call their shot for a World Tag Team title match. That's what we've seen with the Guns, the Young Guns, and now we're seeing that with Brian Cage and Lance Archer. Tag team wrestling is flourishing in AEW, folks, let me tell you. I mean, granted, WWE's no better. They have a very short amount of tag teams that they highlight on television, but at least they kind of accommodate those tag teams with W's, earning them the right to want to challenge for tag team titles. At least, from what I see. But it's a very short list, so what does it fucking matter? Back at ringside, we get an official announcement of Double or Nothing coming to Phoenix, to a big pop from the crowd. So that will be taking place in May. So Phoenix, Arizona will be getting the love for Double or Nothing. And we then are greeted by the arrival of our new AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. Heads to the ring after beating Mariah May at Grand Slam Australia. She talks about May being the woman from hell, stealing everything from her. She is proud of beating Mariah with the biggest package yet ever seen. Alluding to the small package pinfall on Saturday. Shilling the upcoming Queen of the Ring film she's starring in before issuing a challenge to any woman who wants a shot, even Wendy Richer. I don't know who the fuck that is. Because God is a woman and her name is timeless. Spotlight shines brightly on the new champion, much to the appreciation of the crowd. I thought that was pretty good. I love Timeless Toni Storm. She comes across like a Marilyn Monroe from back in the 1930s, famous actress type of style look. I think it works for her great. I think it's one of the best character gimmicks that Toni Storm has ever developed in her entire career. Toni Storm, the basic Toni Storm that we've seen in the past, from the Indies to the WWE and even into the AEW realm, don't measure up to this Toni Storm. This Toni Storm has so much pizzazz. If she makes you feel like you've gone into a time warp, because of her character, it makes you feel like she's portraying from the 1930s and 40s type of actress, and it just feels so different. I love the screen change when she was coming to the ring. They changed it black and white. I absolutely love everything about Toni Storm as Timeless Toni Storm. It is so different, refreshing, and I enjoy what she delivers. She is definitely a woman that could change the game of the women's division in AEW if they would just build around her. They have nothing going on with Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm are complete opposite spectrums of each other. You have character development and story with Toni Storm, you have pure wrestling with Mercedes Moné and her bragging about how great she is and she's the money train. One's basic, one's got layers with a lot of story behind it. And anything that's linked up to it will help develop that story. If you actually try, that is. With Toni Storm's layer of characters to this character, you will get a lot more out of it with her in the story with any wrestler that you put her up against because of who she is as a person, the character itself. I think Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm would be an excellent match, but to build the story, Toni Storm would be doing this all by herself because honestly, Mercedes Moné has no story behind her. She doesn't have a character anymore. You might say, oh, well, she's the money train. She's the CEO. Great. What is she doing to elevate everyone on the roster that she interacts with? Let me guess. Nobody. That's her problem. Toni Storm, with her gimmick, elevates everybody. She helps build everybody up, turns them into something a little bit better than when before they faced her, and that is how you get a good development within a division. I think Toni Storm is the leader of the women's division. I think she's done an excellent job as Timeless Toni Storm. And Mercedes Moné has done nothing. She's a belt collector. Great. What is she doing to help the division? Nothing. That's the whole issue. She's done nothing to help this division. Now, maybe someone could come at me and say, well, that's just creative. And you're absolutely right. I'm going to say that right now. They could do some things with Mercedes Moné, but they are relying too much on Moné's wrestling ability and not on her character development. Not to mention, they make her look like as if she doesn't give a flying fuck about that division at all. It's all about her, and that's all there is to it. And that's the way she comes across on television. I don't know if this is the way Mercedes Moné is directly off screen, but the way her character comes across, she looks like she's just only gives a shit about herself. And that's not good. That really is not good at all. It leaves a bad taste in people's mouth, and it makes her look like she doesn't give a shit. And she might not. I really believe she don't. And I think that's because of her past history that she's had with WWE, that at this point she don't give a fuck about no one but herself. Do I blame her for that? Not exactly, no, but still at the same time, if you feel that way, then why are you even there? That's my question. That makes no sense to me. Then just get out, you know? Do something else. But it is what it is, you know? Anyway, off of the tangent, let's move forward with the rest of the review. So I can go ahead and relax for the remainder of the fucking night until I gotta go back to work. We get a video package for Gabe Kidd, who works out of New Japan Pro Wrestling, who's coming to AEW Collision this Saturday before hyping up other matches for Saturday as well as what's left on the card for tonight. Up next, we will see Chris Statlander take on Megan Bayne. Great. Backstage, Willow Nightingale talks about the Death Riders attacking her last week, accidentally predicting her future in the process as Marina Shafir blindsides her once again. She and Jon Moxley force the camera operator to follow them to the ring, where Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta join the pair, while Mox grabs the microphone. He says that as champion, this is his arena, his ring, and no one is going to issue a challenge to him like they're somebody. He talks about Copeland challenging him for the world title at Revolution, but that he nearly popped the Rated R Superstar's head off, and that if Copeland shows up at Revolution, he's going to finish the job. This brings out the Switchblade as Jay White heads down the ramp before finding himself stalked by Pac. Jay's music stops and is replaced by that of Copeland as the Rated R Superstar slides into the ring from the crowd, and this leads to a brief brawl with an appearance of the nailed board before the Death Riders quickly make their escape through the crowd. Copeland has a mic in his hand as he tries to follow the world champ and lets Mox know that these people are not Mox's, not Mox, but it's Copeland's people. He calls the champ a coward, promising to take out Moxley's Goon Squad one by one before he faces Mox at Revolution, making it a one-on-one match, guaranteeing him a higher probability of possibly winning the title. We head backstage once more as Mercedes Moné talks about beating Harley Cameron at Grand Slam Australia. Wow, never saw that one coming, did you guys? I know I did. Before we get a look back at an interview with Momo Wananiba, Momo won the International Women's Grand Prix at Wrestle Destiny, and she makes it known that she wants to challenge Moné for the TBS Women's Championship. Mercedes is not pleased by this revelation, telling her to come to Dynamite and tell her to her face. Great. So we get Chris Statlander versus Megan Bayne. I did not even pay attention to this. I did not care. Chris Statlander actually loses to Megan Bayne. And that's pretty much it. So I didn't really even pay attention to this. Yell at me, shit on me in the chat, in the comments. I don't care. I'm getting quite a few AEW elitists out there. You know, the sickos are coming after me, apparently. I'm a fucking small little ass freaking small ass YouTube channel. And I got fucking people coming out of the woodwork that are the AEW sickos charging at me with comments here or comment there talking about how shitty my commentary is and how I shouldn't be, you know, shitting on AEW for their content. But to be quite frank with you, I'm not impressed with this fucking show, honestly. I really ain't. So anyway, Ford immediately goes after Statlander, Penelope Ford, following the match with Bayne nearly joining in until Thunder Rosa comes to the ring with a steel chair for the save. This sends Ford and Bayne up the ramp in retreat as we cut backstage. We hear from Max Caster as he addresses the open challenge, not going the way he was expecting. He issues another one for Collision, promising a win on Saturday, as you can't be better than the best. Great. Back at ringside, we are asked to show some love for Ricochet, who comes to the ring to precisely zero love from the crowd. He runs down the Phoenix crowd, talking about how Kevin Durant is looking to go ahead and get the hell out of Phoenix as well as much as he is. And he just wants to get in his own plane and get the fuck out of here. Out of Phoenix. The crowd did not like that. He talks about the difference between winners and losers and insisting he is a winner after he pinned Swerve Strickland in the middle of the ring. And he addresses wearing the embassy robe and how it matters less than wearing championships. And that is where Ricochet's sights are set in 2025, winning championship gold. I think him winning the Continental Championship against Okada would be fucking fantastic, honestly. Or him facing Takeshita, but whatever. I think both of them are heels, personally, so... I mean, you could turn Okada babyface. It's definitely workable. He's done babyface moves. Not to mention, he ain't a cheater. He wins matches clean. He doesn't have to cheat to win. He promises that Ricochet will be a champion in 2025 because he's too good looking not to be. I didn't know looks had to do with skills in the ring. Swerve Strickland music hits as we see Prince Nana alone heading to the ring. Nana says that he would like to have the robe back from Swerve, or from Ricochet, and Swerve has actually stayed at home so he could go ahead and talk to him one-on-one. As they've been beefing up and down the road, but Ricochet is wearing something that doesn't belong to him. Nana's been in the business for 30 years, and that robe has a lot to do with it. It represents pride and integrity, those that Nana has walked through and those we've lost. One thing about that robe is anyone wearing it does so with honor and after earning the opportunity to do so. And Nana never gave Ricochet that opportunity. If he wants to prove he's the winner, he says he is. All Ricochet has to do is give that robe back, to which Ricochet says, take it. When the Prince is hesitant to try it, Ricochet mocks him before saying he's not giving it back, dropping the microphone to leave the ring as commentary hypes up our main event coming up next. And that's it. And I've already discussed about the fucking international championship opportunity at Revolution between Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Orange Cassidy ends up winning the match. Who the fuck cares? After the match is over, Orange Cassidy faces Takeshita next week for the international... So it's the international championship next week, and the winner gets to face Omega at Revolution? What the fuck? Shouldn't it be Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy? The champion has to defend his title on Dynamite and then defend it against Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view? Where does this make any fucking logical sense? What the fuck? A good reason why I don't pay attention to this fucking mindless garbage. What a load of crap. I can't believe I didn't even catch that when I watched this fucking show. This is how much I don't care about AEW, folks. This is literally insane. Orange Cassidy wins the match, so he's getting an automatic title match against Takeshita so he can win the fucking title and then face Kenny Omega and defend that title that he won recently in the last episode of Dynamite to go face Kenny Omega. And if Takeshita wins, he has to defend his title not once, but twice in one fucking week, in 2 weeks. He's got to defend his title twice in 2 weeks. Wait, where the fuck does this make any logical freaking sense, folks? This is why I shit on this fucking product. You would never see this back when they first started. This is illogical. Totally illogical fucking bullshit. My God. You AEW love dick riders. You know, it's one thing to compliment the product, the promotion for what they are doing, but to say it's good even when it's shit, that is idiotic. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to say something is good when it's not. Just so I can say I'm a supporter of the fucking promotion. I'm sorry. This is just mind-numbingly dumb. And to me, it's just fucking illogical. You don't have a champion defend the title before the pay-per-view, which is about, I'd say, you get one Dynamite where he defends the title, goes another week where he doesn't have to defend the title on Dynamite, and then goes into the pay-per-view on Sunday. So he's got a total of 11 days to recuperate from a title defense and then defend it again against a high-level performer like Kenny Omega. Now, granted, you guys might be saying to yourself, what the fuck are you getting all crazy about this? This is a scripted show. I understand that, but logically, thinking about it in let's hypothetically say it's not a scripted show. Let's say it was actually real. How does that make any fucking logical sense? You would never do that in a real sport. You wouldn't have a UFC fighter defend his fucking title one day and then 11 days later defend it again. It ain't gonna happen. And it shouldn't be happening on a fucking wrestling show either. Because then it's just insulting your intelligence, plain and simple. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say at this time. Go ahead, hit the like button if you liked the video, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.